I cannot talk over you. There aren't very many of you in here. But if you think you're being quiet, you're not. You're distracting everybody in the room. The bell ringer said, write out the following formulas. Okay, you need to know all three of these formulas. You should probably at least be able to recognize these three formulas for today's IXL. And if you haven't already seen, you're going to have a test at the end of the week. Test means no notes. And it's over everything in cluster L. Every LIXL. We've been working on the LIXLs for like weeks. Okay? It's kind of starting to be time where you're going to have to start getting your poop in a group. Okay? People have all sorts of missing work. People have not been giving their best effort in class. People have not even been using their work time. People have not been listening to my lessons. You have not been taking notes. It's time to start figuring these things out. Because you have a test on Friday. Yes, we'll review Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But just because we're doing 3 days of review does not mean that you're automatically going to get a good grade on the test. You have to give me some effort. Okay? That's been lacking the last few weeks. So, that being said, you have to be able to tell the difference between these three formulas. Slope-intercept form is what formula?
Y equals mx plus b.
Yeah, that's that y equals mx plus b. How do we know that this is slope-intercept form? Because it gives us the slope and it gives us the intercept. Okay? Standard form, this is the really weird one, I would say. Because we're not given the slope, we're not given really any information about the graph. It just looks kind of silly. What is standard form?
Y minus, no, I was thinking no.
This is the one that has the A, B, and C.
Oh, A equals.
Nope. It does start with A.
A plus.
Nope.
Minus.
Nope.
Divide.
AX
Plus
BY
Equals.
C.
equals C. It means some number X plus some number Y equals some number. That's the weird one where the X's and the Y's are on the same side of the equal sign and you've got this other lonely number over here on the other side. Okay? Point slope form is called point slope form because we're given a point and we're given the slope. This is the one that we've been working with most recently.
Y minus y1 equals
Y minus Y1 equals
slope, like your M,
M
parentheses
X
x
plus.
or minus
minus.
x2. Sorry, x1. I was close.
That's okay. The point there is x1 comma y1, and the slope is still m. So it's called point slope form because we're given the point, and we're given the slope. You should feel comfortable with all three of those, and I may or may not ask you a question like that on the test. Just give me the formulas. Okay? Make sure that you feel comfortable with those. Make sure that you understand what information we can pull out from each of these formulas. Okay? Today's IXL. If you want to take notes, go right ahead.
Oh.
This should be mostly review, to be quite honest, today. Okay? If I'm looking at this equation, what form is this equation in?
Y equals mx.
Minus B.
Yeah, this is in y equals mx plus b. Why does it look crazy though?
Because it's fractions.
Two fractions. But don't let the fractions overwhelm you by any means. It's still y equals mx plus b. This is my m, and this is my b. So when it asks you what the y-intercept is,
Why?
it's just the b value, right?
Yeah.
If you're
Negative
given
13.
this, it's just negative 13 intercept. Like this one asks you for the y-intercept. I can plug in 0 for
Why?
x.
Alright.
If I put a 0 in there, This whole thing goes away, right?
Yeah.
Because 0 times that is just 0. So I've got y equals negative 13 over 10. Same thing.
Bingo.
Wow.
It's low.
It is. Okay. Y-intercept of this.
1 over 9. Positive 1 over 9.
It is positive 1 over 9.
Oh, it's like the last one.
Kind of, but it's going to be a mix of a bunch of things. Like
Positive
2 over 9.
2 over 9 here. They're not all going to be like this, though. Okay, find the slope of this line. What form is this in?
AX plus BY equals C.
Yeah, what's that called?
Standard.
That's standard. This is in standard form. Standard form doesn't give us any information, does it? It doesn't tell me the slope. It doesn't tell me any intercepts. It doesn't give me anything interesting. So I need to take this equation. What's the best way that I could find the slope?
Move the X.
The best way to find the slope is to get this in the y equals mx plus b form. And the only way that we can get it in the y equals mx plus b form so that I can figure out what my m is to get this y by itself. So I'm going to try and get my y by itself here.
You're going to subtract 6x.
We're going to move this whole 6x first. I'll subtract 6x from both sides. It cancels from over here, and what drops down?
Negative 10y.
Negative 10y equals, now I want that to look like this mx plus b. So I want the number with the x to go first. Thank you.
Negative 6x minus 12.
Exactly. Negative 6x minus 12. I'm not done yet because the y isn't by itself. What do I need to do to get the y by itself?
Divide by 10.
Negative 10.
We'll divide by negative 10. And when I divide, this is the weird part. When I divide every single piece by negative 10. Not just on here and here. It's every single part that gets divided. This cancels. Y equals positive 6/10, but can I simplify that?
Yes.
They're both even, right? So 2 can go into both of them.
2/3. No.
2.
Not 2/5.
Say what?
I'm dividing the top by 2 and the bottom by 2.
3/5.
Positive 3/5 x.
And then that just stays the same,
That's-
doesn't it?
This doesn't stay the same. It becomes a positive, right?
6.
12.
It's
6/5. They're both even, so I can divide both of those by 2 as well.
Bless you.
And I figure out that my slope is
3 to
3
5.
over 5.
3/5.
That's pretty easy.
Find the slope of the
7.
line.
7.
What?
No.
Find the
8
slope?
this.
The slope?
Oh, my fault.
8 this, buddy.
You gotta
I
read.
read it wrong. McKenna.
You gotta read. It's
I don't know how to
8/5. How do we know that it's 8/5?
Because it's
that
the slope.
It's with the x. The number with the x is 8/5, so I'm gonna go with that. 8/5.
I thought it said y-intercept. My fault.
Find the y-intercept of this.
No.
Okay, don't you want to move?
It's in
I have two
standard
options
form. It's in standard form.
I have 2 options here. It is in standard form. I could get it to where it's in this form. That would be fine. And then figure out what the b is. Or, in my opinion, anytime it asks you for an intercept, which intercept is this asking me for?
Y.
So I'm going to plug in 0 for
X.
x, the opposite one. If I plug in 0, I'm going to have 2 times 0 plus 2y equals negative 10. Draw my line. This goes away. Solve.
Ooh, we can grab the bike around.
Y-intercept. What do I do?
0 for the X.
0
Oh
for
my
the
gosh,
X.
James back.
Divide
For
by
the x. So really, this just goes away, right?
So divide
I
by
drop down
negative.
negative 6y equals negative 20. Divide by negative 6. If you can't do that simplifying in your head, don't do that.
Calculator.
Use your calculator. But listen, if you have a calculator, nobody has it.
I got mine. Here you go.
Nope.
Awesome.
If you have a calculator like McKenna's,
Oh.
okay, any color, if it's like McKenna's though,
OMG, McKenna.
if you plug in like -10 and then hit your fraction key and then -3, it's going to give you a syntax error. Or sorry, you would be plugging in -20 and -6. Sorry.
Syntax error, yeah. I don't know that's how you pronounce it.
It's going to give you a syntax error. It's going to say you can't put a negative on the bottom of a fraction. Is basically what they don't like. Okay. So what you need to do is, if you're trying to plug this in, look at this and tell me, is that going to be a positive or a negative answer?
Positive.
Because I've got a negative and a negative. So I'm just going to ignore the negative signs and just plug in 20/6, trying to simplify. Since I know that it's positive anyway. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What are you looking at?
What do we get? Positive hundreds?
Ain't no way.
Yes.
Y-intercept.
3/16.
Yeah, that one is just 3/16. Slope. Slope.
12.
This one's just 12. Slope.
14.
This one doesn't have everything. What are we missing? We're missing the y-intercept, but we're not missing the slope. The slope is still the number with the x, so we still just plug in and our slope is -14. Slope
16.
should be the number with the x. Now, what if this said find the y-intercept of this line? What would our y-intercept be? If there isn't one, it's just 0. X-intercept here.
X intercept?
It's point form.
This is in point slope form. X-intercept is not just the x value of our point.
Okay.
We still need to plug in. If it's asking for an intercept, that means plug in 0 for something. What am I going to plug
Y.
in 0 for?
Y.
Y. So I'm going to put 0 plus 10, which is just 10, equals negative. Can I put a 1 in here?
Yeah.
I'm going to put a 1 in. That will make me feel better. X minus 12. Now I've got to try and get x by itself. And this is going to take a lot of steps. I have to start, I see parentheses, so I'm going to distribute. 10 equals
-1x.
-1x plus 12. Now I'm trying to get the x by itself. What do I want to start doing? Not yet.
We need to get the x by itself.
Multiply?
Not yet.
Put the 12 by the 10.
We want to move the 12 first. How am I going to
Minus
get rid of the
12.
12?
Minus 12.
Minus 12. So I'm going to subtract 12 over here as well. This cancels. This is what?
-2.
-2 equals -1x. This is gone. Now what?
Divide.
Now I can divide by,
9.
those will cancel. X equals +2. That would be my x now.
Are you leaving again? Why are you taking pictures of the problem?
I can look back.
Slope.
What kind of form is this?
What kind of form is this?
Standard.
It really is just, it's not really standard because there's no x. I would consider this probably slope-intercept form.
Wouldn't
But
it
what's
be,
it missing from the slope-intercept?
The slope.
It's missing the slope. It's really just an intercept.
so it's just gonna be
This
zero.
is really, look at this. Y
Zero.
equals 19.
It's 0.
19.
It's Hoivux, right?
Yeah.
So that would just be a horizontal line because it's just y equals something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the slope is
0. Impossible.
0. Not impossible, that would be undefined.
Oh, yeah.
I can still ride my bike on a 0 slope. It's just no hill, right?
Yeah.
So the slope is 0. Because we're missing the mx, the slope is 0. Or think of it as a Hoivux line. It's a horizontal, the slope is 0.
Didn't you say that when we didn't have the
X-intercept. Okay.
X one?
What?
Never mind.
Huh?
X-intercept means
You want to put a 0 in for the Y.
It's
0
point,
in for what?
it's
So-
0.4.
0 plus 9 is just
0.
9. Equals 11 over 10 times
X
x plus 8.
8.
That all stays.
Now
Yeah.
you want to distribute.
We want to distribute. The 9 stays equals
11 over 10
11
stays.
times X.
11 over 10 times x.
Plus
Plus-
8. Oh wait, no, my fault.
I gotta distribute.
Yep, that's my fault. 11 over 10 times
Okay.
8
44.
over 4 fifths. 44, how many is 44 fifths?
Take 11 over 10 times 8.
11 over 10 times 8. Why does it keep doing that?
8 and 4/5.
Maybe you're writing it wrong?
No,
Second fraction key.
Okay.
That changes it to the top here.
I'm gonna
44
throw my
fifths, right?
calculator.
I'm good.
I'm
Now-
getting second PRB and then if you
Oh.
need crack or a decimal.
A decimal. You don't-
Mrs. Reynolds, why does my calculator keep doing that?
You're doing what?
So when I put in 11 over 10 and then I click times, it goes to 1 over 1/10.
It says 1 and 1/10 is what that, it's just saying 1 and 1/10.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as 11 over 10. It's just a different-
11 over 10 is the same as 1 and 1/10.
But why
It's
is it
just a-
different?
It's just changing it because that's the way that your calculator likes to see it. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I get 8 over 4 fifths with
And
that.
then you do it.
I don't know which one to hit.
I don't know your fraction key or whatever. How do you change it on this calculator?
I don't know on this calculator. So now 8 and 4/5, you want to change that to a top heavy one. Hit second this one.
Oh,
Second fraction key. Same thing as yours, right?
I'm dumb.
Okay,
I'll
I'm not
take
done
it.
yet. I'm not done yet.
You need to
You want to
Minus
move your
44
44
over
Move,
5th.
subtract
Yeah,
it.
we'll subtract 44/5.
One-fifth.
1/5 drops down, 11 over 10 x drops down. This is all gone, so we get rid of it. Now what?
Divide.
divide
Divide by what?
11 over 10.
11 tenths. On both sides, we're going to divide.
11 over 2.
Thank you.
Ah.
So we'll divide by 11 tenths.
Wouldn't it be 11 over 2?
Give me a second.
2 over 11 is the answer.
Yeah, 2 over 11.
Okay, so my bad. I had mine mixed up. Just kidding. I must have divided wrong.
So we would plug in 2 over 11. A lot of different rules that we're going to have to follow. There's a lot of different formulas, a lot of different forms. Just keep
Wow.
everything organized to the best of your ability. If you need to write it down, okay? On these types of questions, I am going to make you show your work. There are some of them that it's like, it gives it to you in y equals mx plus b, and it says what's the slope. Those you don't need to write it down. Those are easy. Hello.
Hello.
I feel like nobody's listening.
I'm listening.
I'm
I'm
listening.
listening.
On the easy ones, you don't need to write them down. But on the problems like that, you need to write those down because I know that you can't do that in your head. Okay, I'll go through, I can see every single question that every single one of you answers. I can go through and see how many questions you should have written the work on. Okay? Make sure that you're copying down and you're writing the work. This is L17. You need to get to 80, and you need to show your work on the problems that I said. Okay? On the easy ones, it's not necessary. If they give it to you, y equals mx plus b, and ask you for the slope, that's easy.
Nothing's
Use
easy
your
in
time
life.
wisely, please.
Nothing's easy in life, Mrs. Reynolds.
I was going to show you this.
Actually,
Why do you
probably
need to
some
send
of it is.
I finished that.
No, not everything's easy in life.
There is some.
Today.
That's pretty easy.
Okay, good.
Huh?
Huh?
If you
I
have
finished
work to turn in, make sure you get that taken care of.
Well, yeah, you were doing it while she was talking, Diego.
And at least I got it.
Wait, did you show your work, Diego?
No.
Like-
Maybe she should reset it.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get a good grade, Diego, without your work. I don't show my work because I don't like getting good grades in here. Turn
I
off.
actually don't go to the office anymore. Alexis just told me that I was out anyway.
Yeah, I've been like looking
More what?
a Band-Aid.
Oh.
What? Oh, you need a Band-Aid? Oh, never mind. She already got one. Never mind.
I should have not taken out my Band-Aid because one time at a speech meet, Ryder gave me a pink crayon Band-Aid. And I love the
Crayons.
crayon Band-Aid.
Crayons. Purple's my favorite.
You look like you eat crayons. No offense.
I do eat crayons.
No
I
offense.
eat the purple crayons. They're delicious.
Is that why there's been no purple crayons lately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only the orange ones.
The red ones are good.
No, I was watching this video and this lady had to keep buying boxes of crayons because her husband would only eat the green ones. There would be no green crayons left, so she would have to keep buying them over and over again. And every single time she bought a new one, the green one would be gone.
Play-Doh is nasty.
Talk about eating crayons.
Have you played Play-Doh? That's
Okay, why would
Alexis.
you eat Play-Doh?